The views, takes and opinions expressed on this show are of the host's own and do not represent the views, takes and opinions of the Main Event Mark, PWPH Wrestling Network and its affiliates. Material and sources mentioned in this episode is for general and commentary purposes only. This episode might include strong language and may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised. Stay safe and stay wrestle everyone. Welcome to the Main Event Mark.
Okay, so welcome to your Unfiltered Tagalog Wrestling Podcast. This has been the Main Event Mark Podcast. So, continue tayo ng mga episodes natin this week here on the podcast. So, thank you again for listening on the main event and always supporting the podcast. And I hope that you will support all of our local content creators that's contributing on our local wrestling scene. At sa inyong lahat na sumusuporta sa main event at sa PWPH, maraming salamat sa pagsuporta every week as we do the content, as we do the shit. Thank you very much for supporting us here on the podcast. So, on this part of the podcast, we are talking about the, what I call this, we will talk about the hot shit the hot shit happenings on the WWE things in AEW. Obviously, we will preview AEW Dynasty habang libre pa tayo mag-preview kasi mamaya 6:30 main card na, makatulog pa ako. Yan. So, thank you very much everyone for supporting the show, supporting the pod, supporting everything that we do. Ayun. So, maraming salamat din for trusting me, for doing this content. And yun. AEW Full Gear, Dynasty. Let's start with that first. Let's do a preview of the card before we go to our show this week para madali nang i-edit. Okay, first thing, we have the best wrestler alive, Max Caster Open Challenge. This should be airing on the 0 hour. And I think Max Caster again is losing this for sure. What if si Bowens to, no? I would love to see Bowens here. Pero realistically, it might be Gabe Kidd. He's teasing his appearance here for a while, so it might be Gabe Kidd also. Sorry about the trap, by the way. Then, Nick Wayne and CRU versus AR Fox and Top Light. Another 0 hour match. I think it should be the team of Nick Wayne because the other team doesn't need the win, by the way. Okay, so sinesearch ko yung Owen Cup bracket. Mag-bracketory na rin tayo para dire-diretso tayo sa ating episodes. And I'll give my thoughts on that later, I guess. No? I will give my full thoughts on the Owen Cup bracketology. Okay. Then, we have Will Ospreay versus Kevin Knight for the Owen Hart Men's Tournament Quarter Final. It's definitely going to favor Ospreay. Owen Hart Men's Tournament Quarter Final, definitely Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. Another match to win for Mark Briscoe. Sorry, I would love to see Mark Briscoe win here, but realistically, it's Kyle Fletcher winning. For sure. Tataka ako ba't may 4 sa taas ng graphic na. Is this a 4th match? Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. Man, I feel bad for Julia Hart in advance. But she's losing here for sure. Moné, Mercedes. Chris Jericho versus Bandido. Title versus mask for the AEW Ring of Honor World Championship. Jericho to. I would love. Wala man duda. Jericho to. The Hurt Syndicate versus the Learning Tree, Brian Keith and Big Bill for the AEW World Tag Team titles. Hurt Syndicate. This is obviously a backup plan on what we originally supposed to get, the team of Lance Archer and Brian Cage supposedly going to get a contendership shot, but nothing is possible now. For now, we have Daniel Garcia versus Adam Cole, TNT title, no time limit, no outside interference. Hindi ko alam, pero hindi pa rin talaga ako masaya kay Daniel Garcia. Hindi talaga siya charismatic. I don't really want to see Adam Cole in a W ring again, because he is not making me impressed. Sorry, I have to say that agad-agad, kasi para makapag-set tayo ng proper expectation. I am not impressed with this guy. This is just me. I'm not impressed with Daniel Garcia as champion. So as much as I would love to Adam Cole to, as much as I would love to, Death Riders, putang na Death Riders versus Rated FTR for the AEW World Trios title. Wheeler, you tatangin talaga mukha Anton Yol. I hope this will be the first step for Rated FTR to fix themselves. Pero feeling ko this is going to be retained. No, for sure. Thunder Rosa. Toni Storm versus Megan Payne for the AEW Women's World title. I love Megan Payne. She's growing on me. But I don't think it's the perfect time to put the belt on her. I don't think so. So I'll just give this to Toni Storm. I love Megan Payne, but I don't really think she's winning right now. Kenny Omega, Ricochet versus Speedball Mike Bailey. This is a match that I think for the international title, by the way, I don't really think that Kenny is losing. But if it's the case, okay, that's the case. Pero for now, if hindi siya, definitely Ricochet. And ang hirap din ipatalo ni Speedball kasi 'di ba? We are looking for him as a newcomer technically. Pero for now, I'll just say this as it is. Kenny to. But Ricochet will be pinned. Then we have Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland for the AEW World Championship. Masakit, pero let's tell the obvious. Moxley is gonna retain here for sure. Moxley is going to retain. I'm trying to observe the website of AEW for them for putting this accessibility parts. Pero ang labo kasi nung ano nila content. Tsaka wala silang story notes dito, walang mga storyline notes. So yeah, that's the case. So winning, I don't think Moxley is losing anytime soon until Wembley. That's for sure. I don't think he is losing. I don't think he will lose, at least for now. Tangina, na-insulto ako. Wala pa rin yung PR ng... Wala pa rin yung PR sa Max. But yeah, that's the pay-per-view that we are expecting for the next couple of days. That's AEW Dynasty. Supposedly, it will air tonight at 6 p.m. 6:30 sa 0 hour 8 a.m. main card. Okay. So, let's talk about the show now, SmackDown. Since ito yung mainit-init na SmackDown that we are talking about for the past few days. SmackDown featuring top stars, the three-way main event, obviously, that we are addressing. And then, it's only 2 weeks away after this episode, no? Then, Mark Nash is really impressive to me, to be honest. Okay, so I'll talk about the Punk promo first. The Punk promo, the Punk promo is actually impressive to put over his fans, and then he really loved them, so I appreciate that. So Paul Heyman appearing here is kind of on point, sa totoo lang. Kasi we wanted that appearance and also this segment that they are facing each other. Then Punk said it was no disrespect to Chicago and no disrespect to his best friend in the world, CM Punk. So that's why he joined. And then parang Heyman talked about how Solo and friends put Heyman through a table. So he said that blah blah blah. And then they're trying to tease the favor that was revealed later in the show. We will talk about it a bit. That's the thing there. Then Rey Fenix made his debut. And I love how WWE is putting him over, and also Simas Penta, no? And I really love the fact also that they decided to put Nathan Frazer in front of Fenix because it's really good, no? For Axiom competed in a while before, no, versus Gunter, and that was really good. And personally, this match also was really good to me. To present Rey Fenix in a WWE setting, yes, that was a match that it's a WWE basic thing, no? Para mag-present siya. Ganda siya, magandang presentation to for WWE. And I hope we can get a different presentation for both of them in the time being, for sure. And I don't really have any issues. Nathan Frazer is amazing. Yung dive lang talaga ng show, yun lang talaga yung problema ko. Other than that, I think either him or Axiom will be a great preloader on what we should expect on Fenix. So that's impressive, no? And then he is going to have a match against Berto. Berto is amazing also, no? So totoo lang, he is also impressive. Pagbibigyan mo siya ng matinong kalaban. And that's why I love him as a wrestler. Also, we have this Drew versus Damian at WrestleMania. That was a really good promo. If you ask me, same as Priest. Then we have wait lang. Tama versus LA Knight. Okay, that was not a title match. Parang they're putting him over. But okay, I think that was really good. Then yung promo ni Paul Heyman sa parking, he's trying to wait for Roman. He got set. Ewan ko, pero popular take na yun na dapat si Punk wants Heyman to be his manager at WrestleMania instead of Roman. Pero sobrang unpopular na this thing would not complement with the Paul Heyman turn. And I will talk about that later once we go there. For now, Aleister Black keeps teasing his return. We will get that probably after WrestleMania. That's for sure. For now, I'll address the Tiffany Stratton Charlotte Flair promo. So, Tiffany is on the ring. So, she was in the ring with Charlotte Flair. Wade Barrett is the moderator for the face-to-face. Wade introduced both of them, so we are expecting the fans cheering on TV and booing Charlotte. So Barrett wanted Charlotte to explain why she chose Stratton as her WrestleMania opponent, so that's why we're asking this for weeks now. Flair said Stratton wanted the moment and Flair hadn't done any charity work lately. Flair said that she wanted to show there's no comparison to her. Tiffany said that her biggest competitor has been the fans, and Stratton said that Tiffany will never win that battle. But then she's crying on a talk show. I think this was we'll talk about that in a bit. Then Stratton said no matter how Tyros Charlotte won, she will always come close to her daddy Ric Flair at WrestleMania. And at WrestleMania, she will come second to Stratton. Flair asked Stratton if she was the first opponent to say that she comes second to her dad. And then the fans boo, like boo. So Flair waited, and it sounded like there were TV time chants. The fans keep booing so loudly, and then that was cool while the fans didn't let her speak. Tiffany said when Charlotte was 25, she was trying to be a volleyball player and hung out in her daddy's basement. While Tiffany is going into WrestleMania as a 25-year-old WWE Women's Champion. Tiffany said Flair might be 4-3 at WrestleMania, but outside the ring, she ain't the queen of shit. Flair mocked Stratton for having a squeaky voice. I love that part. Flair said she was the number one Nepo queen, and then Stratton said when she beats Flair at WrestleMania, she's like outside the ring alone. Stratton said that a record 0-3 and left referencing the 3 divorces of Charlotte. And then, hey Tiffany, this is why Kaiser is in my DMs. I love it. Okay, let's talk about this. So, that was interesting. And like what I said on the previous episodes of the podcast, feeling ko there's an awkward interaction between Tiffany and Charlotte. Yes, this time, it really works with the crowd. So, that's working. So, they loudly threw her out big time because Charlotte forgot what she wanted to say and she just let Tiffany finish the promo. This led to Stratton taking the shot about the divorce. Again, feeling ko naman there's something off with Charlotte talaga since nung una pang na-reveal as siya yung kalaban ni Tiffany sa WrestleMania. Doon pa lang off na ako. Pero yung line at the end by Charlotte was a reference to Stratton dating Ludwig. So, binawi niya lang yun, no? And then, I keep going back to the word awkward because it was. I'm not sure if there's a heat, if there's any personal. I'm not sure if there's a line that we should get for both of these women. Pero, ang isang sure ako dito, parang both of them crossed the line, no? Both of them crossed the line. Both of them felt awkward. Awan ko lang kung tama yung term. Feeling nila awkward yung pagkakasabi nila. Pero, if we analyze this promo well, I think Charlotte is losing 3 promo battles in a row with Tiffany Stratton. If I am being honest with you guys. Again, I love Charlotte. She, I think, is one of the greatest of all time. But this is clearly Tiffany's time. And I don't think Charlotte is still there on top. She's there because she's over. But Tiffany is the champ now. Tiffany is the over now. If Charlotte wins at WrestleMania, there's a big downgrade that might come to Tiffany. And unlike Becky, nung pinut over siya ni Tiffy, or pinut over ni Becky si Tiffy, despite of her losing, ang lakas ni Tiffy nun eh. Tiffy was treated really good by Becky Lynch on their match last year. Tandaan nyo ba yun? That was really good. And I think Becky versus Tiffy series was really good. Then now, she's getting the treatment of Charlotte, and we might get an opposite outcome that we just expected between those two. That's like what we are discussing recently. According to WrestleVotes, both of them went off script all throughout the promo, and then It showed what they said. The line at the end by Charlotte was a reference to Stratton dating Ludwig Kaiser. Pero yan, that was awkward. Just to let you know, Blast TV coverage of SmackDown sa VOD nila, hindi nila binler yung part na yon. So if you want to watch that, to catch that, you can watch it there. And sa mga nanonood din sa Netflix, you might notice that it was blurred or sa USA. Kasi dinelete na siya sa WWE platforms eh. So most likely, i-blur na to ni WWE sooner than later. Now, WWE might blur that part of the promo. But regardless, that was a awkward promo to me. And Tiffany is owning Charlotte. We know Charlotte is very antagonistic. And that's the reality, no? And Charlotte is that woman. Very awkward. Pero may mga segments naman siya na parang she's fighting her ego by ego, and it works most of the time, just like her feud with Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley. It worked because the ego character works. But here, I don't think it works. Even with the Ronda Rousey, mas ito tolerate ko yung feud nila with Ronda, but not this one. That's why it worked. Then, Nick Aldis made some announcements regarding a women's tag team gauntlet match featuring Raw and SmackDown teams. The winners will get a shot for Liv and Raquel for their tag titles at WrestleMania. Then, Motor City Machine Guns defeated Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. That was really good. That was really make sense also when it comes to the win. And then we have Miz and Melo. Ewan ko. Bear with me. I really love this pairing so far. Pretty Deadly is now a face for sure. But Miz and Melo is something that we're expecting it doesn't work. But it will work for sure. So both of them are trash talking Pretty Deadly. But Miz is really working for sure. Miz is working. So Miz looking for tag partners really works for me, no, for sure. And then Naomi versus Jade was made official for WrestleMania, and I think both of them did a really good job on making this official. And I think sa lahat ng feud sa WrestleMania, this was one of the matches that earned a match at WrestleMania. So that's why it makes sense, no? Okay, so we have Kevin Owens walking out the aisle. This is not kayfabe, just to let you know. Nick Aldis said that it's a cliche, but there's a reason why they don't. We say all the time, don't try this at home. So Audi said he wanted to let you hear more from the man hits up Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens made his entrance wearing a Bret Hart jacket, and sobrang lungkot niya doon. Owens was booed on his way to the ring. You know how petty Kevin Owens is sometimes, no? Then he thanked everyone who is supporting him for 25 years, and he thinks he can say confidently that he gave everything that he had every time he stepped out in this ring. Owens said that he got to experience things that he'll never forget, and he got the chance to take care of his family in a way he could only dream of. So that's a very babyface promo, no? Di pa tapos yun. We will talk about that in a bit. So Owens mentioned that talking about how there's a price to pay when you get into the ring, and everything has a price. So he got and he has to pay the price. Owens mentioned that for the last 4 months or so, He is dealing with a neck injury, and this week they figured out what was wrong with it, and then he has to go to a neck surgery. And Owen said that the timing could worse because it's not getting to the ring with Randy Orton at WrestleMania really sucks. Owens thanked WWE for allowing him to tell about the injury because he doesn't know when he will be in front of us again. Owens said, in the last few years, he learned to never take everything for granted, and he'll never take this for granted. Owens said, thank you, and I'm sorry guys, thank you. And then Owens shook hands with Aldis and hugged him. So technically, that was face. That was a face promo. And then it was confirmed. So the injury reports are true. Best wishes for KO. Again, get well soon. He is an amazing performer. A great career for sure. That I hope we will be able to continue in the future. Then we know what we saw on Cope, Edge, Page, Samoa Joe. I feel bad for all of that, and KO is one of them. I hope KO will be able to return in the ring, and no matter how serious is that, I hope we can look forward to that in the future. Okay, so Orton made his entrance, and he did that slow walk out to the ring. Owens walked away with Orton when Orton made his way down to the ring, and then Aldis stood by Orton, and he said, unfortunately, that means no Orton at WrestleMania. The fans booed, and then RKO chant, so Orton jumped to Aldis, and he hits him on RKO. That's huge. I hope we can get a match between Nick Aldis and I hope we can get a match between Nick Aldis and Randy Orton. Both of them are seasonal talent. Both of them are amazing in their own rights. Maybe we could put Rusev or maybe Aleister Black. But Aldis is perfect. Kasi di pa siya nagko-compete under the WWE brand. And I would love to see that in the near future. Now, Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman. Last man standing. I find it really good. Ito yung example of the last man standing matches that I think it's justified because there's a communication within the characters that we have. So Jacob Braun and the referee Daphne Lashion, I think all of them did a really good job on their parts because that's how a last man standing works. Then there was a fun match, and it reminded me for some matches that we got, like Braun versus Bronson Reed. That was really good. And then both of them got this amazing match. And then I'll skip this Cody promo because again that's the promo again. Then now we have the three-way promo from CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I'm not gonna do blow by blow into this, but here's the thing. CM Punk mentioned that CM Punk made the point that the one who will join him to the ring at WrestleMania, it should be Roman Reigns' wise man and best friend, Paul Heyman. And Rollins was laughing about it on the side while Reigns is not happy about it. Reigns is pissed, as in he's pissed, he's disappointed, he is laughing about it. And then Heyman loves Reigns and Heyman needs Reigns. Reigns said even if he didn't let him, Heyman would not do it. Reigns told the wise man to let his desperate fool down easy. There were easy CM Punk chants. No, my trouble chief. I can do that. Rollins was laughing about it. Reigns backed Heyman into the turnbuckle. Punk attacked Reigns, and then Rollins is just there on the back. On the back. So, the beat, medyo natanong siya, no? Nag-overtime siya ng konti. Pero okay, let's talk about this. Yung favor, parang ito na talaga yan. Nasamahan niya si Roman sa ring, okay. And then, or sasamahan niya si Punk sa ring, okay. And then, Rollins is just there as a main character. And is loving about it because he's enjoying the chaos, even though it's done. That was really good to me overall, no. I would say this, no. That was one of the best episodes of SmackDown for sure. Na feeling ko hindi ito 3 hours. Then nabitin ako doon sa Phoenix versus Fraser. Then I think that's it. Wala akong masyadong bibigay na opinion sa card progression natin. But I think that's it. If we are looking into the whole card for the other shows, baka maikli lang to. Pero yan, let's talk about the Owen Cup. So, total dito na lang din tayo sa wrestling. So, AEW released their tournament bracket for the Owen Hart tournament, including a wild card and some big matches. Pinredict na natin earlier yung ibang matches, so it will go as follows: Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks, then Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander, Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart, Athena versus Harley Cameron. Then we also have Kevin Knight in Jay White's spot. So White was injured. Then Ospreay Page is kinda intriguing for me on this bracket. Pero yung wild card, it should be Josh Alexander if he's really joining AEW. If not, it should be a returning talent. Maybe Samoa Joe. Meron Samoa Joe. Andyan na siya eh. Maybe someone a free agent. Si Bishop Dyer. Maybe. Pero heavy to Josh Alexander. Women's side. I think the one who is winning the tournament, I want Harley Cameron to win, but unlikely siya versus Mercedes Mercedes versus Athena yung binibuild nila for semis. And then we have Billy Starks dominating the right bracket, no? And then we have the final. So Athena versus Billy for the final should be fun. The men's side, Ospreay to. Walang kaduda-duda with Ospreay. Walang kaduda-duda. The winner will get the respective title shots in All in Texas. That's the bracketology there. Let's go to Raw. Raw, live from London. So we have a promo again between Cena and Cody. I think this is the best promo face off that they got since Cena's turning at the Elimination Chamber, since he turned at EC. I think this was the best promo that they have, no? Compared with the 2 weeks, I think this was the best one so far. And I think Cody did a really good job also. That was really good, no? The New Day versus New Catch Republic. So New Day won. That was really good. Then Tyler Bate made his return officially. And Jamie Uso versus Gunther. Another match that I loved from this whole episode of Raw this week. That was a fun match. And dito actually the provoke si Gunther to beat the living hell out of Jimmy. And then, medyo reminder din ito on how brutal Gunter is. And I think they did a really good job on that. No? And then, sobrang ganda ng focus nito. For sure. That Gunter, man, Gunter is impressive. And then, Jey Uso gets into the ring, handcuffs him, thanks to Gunter, and then we got this humiliation. He got assaulted again. That was really good. Penta and Braun Breaker versus Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio. Sorry. Penta got his first defeat in the company. Medyo napaisip ako doon. And then, yun, I think that was a really good time to build him in this segment. Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Man. I think they did a really good job on Logan Paul so far. They're building Logan Paul so good on this occasion. He is a draw kasi, obvious naman. So, WWE has to build him in a really good reputation. So, I can't blame them for building him like that. And then, I agree that it's just your preview. Wala siyang gaining factor like the Naomi Jade Cargill thing. But I think it did a really good job. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. The match makes sense because it sets up the match between three of them at WrestleMania. Then I think they did a really good job that we need to establish Rhea Ripley as the top face, and they made Rhea Ripley aggressive again. Not a heel turn for sure, but they made all of them in a different roles. So Io Sky is your low-key champion. Bianca Belair, aggressive contender that was robbed by Rhea Ripley. Then Rhea Ripley is your aggressive babyface that's frustrated on what happened. So, yun. W also on Bianca making her own gear. So that's really good. Okay. That's Raw. I don't think may mamimiss ako sa Raw. Sa totoo lang. Okay. Let's start with Raw. NXT. NXT. Let's start with this. We have Ricky Starks winning the NXT North American title. I feel bad for Shawn Spears, but I think that was meant to be. Then we got Ethan Page appearing. He attacked him to close the show. I think that was really good. Pero they really took advantage of Ricky Starks. And they really tried to replicate Ricky Starks on the team, no? Pero yung elements kasi wala talaga. Pero, okay. Wala akong question on how they booked Ricky Saints here. And they didn't, or they don't want to waste him as a big star, for sure. And then, on how they are presented, I think that was really good, no? Then, we have Kelani Jordan versus Roxanne Perez. I think they're now building Kelani as the new standard bearer. That was really good. That was amazing. Jordan is also the new standard bearer of NXT. And then, parang ang odd then that Roxanne is not on the show. It's not competing. Pero I hope we can see Roxanne down the line sa main roster, no? Pero ang weird lang that she's not competing on any shows on WrestleMania, and that was interesting I hope we can see an answer to this. Very interesting, no? That she is not chasing everything. That the North American title, tag titles. Interesting. By the way, that's we will talk about this now. Kasi connected yung match na yan. Stephanie Baker kicked off NXT. She announced that she is relinquishing the North American title in an attempt to push the women's division forward and ensure the title is defended regularly as long as she gets to pick her opponent for the NXT title at Stand and Deliver for the show. Kida Parker and Jordan Grace interrupted, and some after back and forth, they brawled and it was separated by security. Sobrang note nito that this was the second title that she got. No questions on why they did this. And they had this contendership, and also it creates that intrigue or interest when it comes to the North American title, which is now decided with the ladder match that we are getting. And hindi naman sinasabi na sold ako with the idea of her vacating the title. But like what I said, baby faces sometimes are the ones na mapagbigay sa opportunities and characters naman, no? Tingnan mo si Seth Rollins when he got 2 belts, sobrang coward niya as champion nun. Tandaan niya ba yon? Until he defended the title at the pay-per-view. That's why it works. If he loses Stephanie, we might get a different outcome. But until then, no. That's it is. Trick Williams, I think he's turning heel. I don't really think so. I just think he is frustrated on what's happening on his booking lately. Hindi ako masyado nag-iisip na nag-turn siya, at least for now. Then we have Saraya and Lash Legend fighting for the first shot for the ladder match. I think that was really good also. That we have Saraya here on the ladder match. I hope she will get her big moment. Then we have Hank and Tank versus No Quarter Catch Crew. Man, they're building both of the tag teams really good here for sure. No? Impressive. So totoo lang. Then we have Trick Williams and Oba Femi. I think both of them are trying to convince me both of them are trying to convince me that these 3 people are the one na magpuput over kay Obafemi. And I hope that it leads to something about Javon Evans. Javon Evans kasi he might be the leader of the Dark State stable. So, that's the case. Parang they're baiting the stable. And yeah, Kelani Jordan is also part of that ladder match that we just got. And I think that was really good also when it comes to the announcements that we got this week on NXT. Nothing to miss, to be honest, on this episode. Pero I think they did a really good job establishing the battlefield for Stand and Deliver. Okay, Dynamite. I know you guys are excited for me to talk about Dynamite. But I'm not excited about Dynamite, sorry. I have to give a heads up on that. Then, Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir versus Swerve Strickland and Willow Nightingale. This match, that was that was okay lang. I don't think that was really good. Pero it really builds an intrigue between the 4 specifically. Moxley laid out Willow Nightingale with a paradigm shift, and then parang I think AEW did a really good job on the tag or the match itself. Parang I think it justifies the point of the intergender that they're trying to top off, and Willow also picking up the win. It's amazing to me. I hope she will be able to get a title shot also for the women's title. Then, medyo na-expose din si Marina dito kasi hindi na siya nagko-compete eh. So, magpihira niya mag-compete since she got that Dead Rider shit. I hope that they will be able to consider this. No? Also, yun lang, I think. Pero, yun nga yung tournament that we just got. Pinreview ko na as they announced. Pero, knowing Tony Khan, parang they're trying to build something BS here. Tony Storm versus Penelope Ford, that was fine. Pero, tangina talaga. Megan Payne, I think she's really good. But, I don't think she's winning title. Sorry. I'll have to say that. Emphasizing. And decisive din. Kailangan ko siyang sabihin decisively because that was really odd to me. Okay. So we have this plot twist that they're trying to build up for the Hurt Syndicate. Until now, hindi pa rin ako convinced that is MJF really going to work for the Hurt Syndicate, because I am doubting ever since that it will work for sure. Then we have some jobber matches that I don't really care. I'll skip that. Cope versus Claudio. That was flat. The match was flat. Pero I think the face-off between Jon Moxley and Swerve, I think it justifies the point when it comes to the storyline that they're getting. But I hope that Jon Moxley is going to be dethroned on this thing. Hindi rin siya pang go-home show, kung ako yung tatanungin niyo. That was not a worth of a go-home show. If you're asking me. Okay, let's cap off the podcast this week with some TNA wrestling, since nakapag-separate AEW talk na tayo, mahabang AEW talk yung ginawa natin this week. So, let's talk about TNA Impact. So, bear with me. Wala pala yung source ko. Wala yung notes ko eh. Pasensya na ha. TNA Impact for April 3, 2025. Okay, I got this. Okay. So, hindi ko na hahabaan yung review ko about TNA Impact. Hindi ako makapag-imagine. I'm kinda upset that Elijah lost to Frankie Kazarian. Even by cheating. Terrible. Then, yung segment between Joe Hendry, Kazarian, and then, I think, hindi ako masold if it's a legit injury between the three of them. Pero I hope Hendry is fine, and I hope it's part of the storyline, and I hope we can get some stuff that we need to look forward. No? Then, the system public firing, I don't know, pero Moose is the only one who is impressive on the mic on this stable. Very little, for sure. Oh my God. Alicia Edwards is the worst talker in TNA. Let's say that as it is. And yeah, I'll skip this. Okay. We got the announcement between Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard. Hindi ko na habaan yung commentary ko. And then yung announcements pala. Wait lang. There are some announcements for the Ultimate X. So Leon Slater is competing on that, and then Matt Cardona is also the same. And then Santino said everyone from the system would have matches next week. And then, yun. So that's the case. Spitfire versus Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. That was a solid tag match. That was good, to be honest, no? So, totoo lang. Then, I'll skip some of the segments. That was filler. Then, ito na, yung announcement. So, Stephanie Delander, or Steph Delander, and Mans Warner. Man, this thing, such a really good thing. Man, that was really good, for sure. Tapos, Santino appeared, and he called them gross, and then, they said that they can't call themselves champions, and they are retiring the belt, and it will be replaced with the TNA International title at Unbreakable. There will be 3 triple threat matches in tribute to Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, and Christopher Daniels. Then Sami Callihan attacked Warner with a baseball bat, choked him out to the stage, and then he launched Warner off the stage. That was a great announcement. Pero ewan ko, yung purpose ng digital media taro, di rin naman gano'n nagamit. So, hindi naman siya sobrang international din. Plus, the participants. Okay. That's it. Then, ano pa ba? Wait, let's check ko yung cards. Wala naman masyadong kailangan ma-miss. The tag match, for the 8-man tag match, I think this was an 6-man tag match. Sorry, 6-woman tag. I think wala naman kailangan masyadong ma-miss when it comes to this. They just made official, basically, the match between Masha and Tessa Blanchard. But I hope she lost. I hope sana matalo siya. Yeah, yun lang yun. So, that's 9 minutes. Then, merong Rebellion announcement. So, this wasn't as shocking as it is. Pero, it's really nice also to see Ethan Page back in TNA. That was really good and clever din naman, kung tutusin. He's having a great run in NXT. So, parang odd sa akin that he is competing also for this card. The problem also that I noticed here, that the card that we are getting is a little bit small. Pero okay, it is what it is, 2 hours yun eh. Pero ito, we have the X Division Tyro Ultimate X card so far. So that's Moose, Vikingo, Slater, Matt Cardona, obviously the 3-way, Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, and Pragi Kazarian, who cashed in his trophy, color shot. Masha Slamovich versus Tessa Blanchard, the Hardys versus the Nemets. We'll find out later this month if this pay-per-view is going to be a flop or a flop. But for now, that's it. I think that's it. That's it for now. We are not gonna dunk on the show more. I hope you can enjoy the podcast on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, and on TikTok, and the rest of the podcast platforms. For now, kagaya na sabi ko, wala naman kailangan masyadong ma-miss with this shows. We will talk about Dynasty in the next couple of days after the event. We will talk about it here on the show. And then, siguro let's do the speed review then. Gaya nga ng promise ko last time, that I'll give my takes on WWE Speed. Kasi, I know, recently, nag-anniversary yung Speed, and I think that was a really good show also. We will tackle that in the next couple of days. But for now, this has been the main event mark. Stay safe and stay blessed. So, see you on the next episode of the pod. Bye for now.